I call to order the school committee meeting of May 18th, 2026. If you're able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please. Ms. Gentner.
Bess Coughlin. Here. Kathleen Amaral.
Here.
Chris Oliver.
Here.
John Nunes.
Yep.
Mary Beckwith.
Here. This meeting is being recorded. It will be rebroadcast on DCTV and may also be streamed on their YouTube channel. We begin with public comment tonight. We have allowed 10 minutes for public comment from the audience on any topic on this evening's agenda.
Okay.
There appears to be none, so we will move ahead. We begin tonight with recognition of the Mass Superintendent's Certificate of Academic Excellence. I'm going to ask Dr. Saber McGuire to present that certificate.
Thank you, Chair Beckwith. First, I'll start by just welcoming everyone here this evening, and what a wonderful night for you to be here when we are recognizing some of our students that have been here with us in Dartmouth for their entire academic career. So this evening, Mr. Shea is going to talk about our two students in a moment, but we have Sophia Rakowski and we have Brianna Waite, who will be receiving the MASS, or the Mass Association of School Superintendent Award. And this award is given in recognition of high-achieving high school seniors who demonstrate outstanding academic performance alongside exemplary leadership, character, and community service. So we are really interested in what you have to say about our two award recipients, Mr. Shea, and introducing them to all these folks.
I know, and I love that there's all these young people that can see two people to look up to, because there's some pretty high bar that these two students are going to set for us. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce the first recipient of the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents Superintendent Certification of Excellence, Brianna Waite. Brianna represented the very top of her class, currently ranked number 2 with a near-perfect 4.27 unweighted GPA. Her academic record is a masterclass in rigor, having earned the AP Capstone Diploma and the AP Scholar with Distinction Award while consistently choosing the most demanding course load at Dartmouth High. What truly makes Brianna the one Dartmouth student, however, is how she balances her academic excellence with a deep commitment to service and school spirit. She serves as the Vice President of the National Honor Society and is an active member of the Student Council, has participated in field hockey and track throughout her 4 years at Dartmouth High School. Her passion for helping others extends beyond our walls, for volunteering for the sea turtle conservation in Hawaii and her current internship at Chase Farms Veterinary Hospital. Her AP English Lit teacher captures her impact on our school perfectly. Bree is one of the most insightful and perceptive students and is one of the nicest all-around students I've ever taught. She has a dynamic personality and is an incredible talent. Well-rounded student athlete that exemplifies what the quintessential Dartmouth High School graduate should embody. She is a joy to be around and is always the highest praise for her teachers and peers. Brianna is off to Tulane to study biochemistry in the Honors Scholar program as well. Her intelligence is matched by only their kindness and driven to make a difference. It is my honor to present Brianna Waite for this award. I have the privilege to introduce someone else, too. It is my privilege to introduce our next recipient of the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents Superintendent Certificate of Excellence, Sophia Rodolowski. Sophia is a senior who embodies a rare balance of academic rigor, community leadership, and character. Sophia's transcripts alone is a testament to her dedication. She has maintained an exceptional 4.19 GPA unweighted while completing some of the most challenging courses we offer at Dartmouth High School, including AP Capstone Diploma and numerous AP Scholar Awards. However, what truly distinguished her is the leadership she's provided in Dartmouth High School over the last 4 years. As our class treasurer for her entire high school career, she has consistently within her class. She's also responsible for some really important changes at the Dartmouth High School finest, including impressing our technology director with her ability to manage the Google Sheets. Whether it's on the volleyball court or a tennis all-star or volunteering for over 40 hours in town camps, food drives, Sophia always shows up for her community. Her teacher describes her as a student, but not only as a student, but as a problem solver who transformed our school's digital voting and scoring process for the Senior Capstone Project. In the words of one of her teachers, Sophia is one of the most mature and reliable students I've had in the senior class. She has been the go-to person for logistics and for her ability to communicate, problem solve, and think reasonably. She is level-headed, a friend to all, and a bright light on everyone's day. Sophia is off to UNH to study nursing in the honors program. Sophia, your contributions have left a permanent mark on DHS, and it is my honor to present the Certificate of Excellence. Congratulations. Thank you, everyone. Young people, look up to them. They're really impressive.
We're now moved to the approval of the minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the regular session minutes of May 4th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Noon, second by Ms. Amaral.
All in favor?
Do we have to take a vote on that? No. Yeah?
Any discussion?
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Now looking for a motion to approve the executive session minutes of May 4th, 2026.
So moved, Madam Chair, with the stipulation that they be held until the matter for which they were intended is complete. Second.
Motion by Mr. Noon, second by Ms. Coughlin. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. We now move to the student representative report. Tonight's representative, 9th grader Charlotte Alphonse. It's time for your report.
Good evening. My name is Charlotte Alphonse, and I am in the 9th grade. I'd like to share a few current events and highlights from Dartmouth High School. Last Friday, students participated in the Special Olympics, which was a great success, and luckily the weather held up for the event. I was very fortunate to see my brother perform. The junior banquet was also a big success, and students had a great time celebrating and dancing together. After 2 busy weeks, AP exams have officially wrapped up. Seniors are currently presenting their senior capstone projects as they prepare for graduation, and their final day of classes and senior checkout will take place this Friday. Tomorrow, Tuesday, May 19th, students will attend the yearbook signing party, and students from Mr. Robert Parati's program will also be participating in the soapbox derby at Round Hill. Finally, Senior Awards and Scholarship Night will take place this Thursday to recognize the accomplishments of the class of 2026. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you. Good job.
Any questions for Charlotte?
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
So as you know, you are welcome to stay, but we do recognize that you probably have other things that you need to attend to tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Our spotlight on kids tonight is the George H. Potter Elementary School. We're going to ask Principal Melissa McHenry to come up and tell us about tonight's presentation.
I didn't wear my heels tonight, and that's evident. Good evening.
On behalf of the Potter School, we appreciate the opportunity to share with you all of the amazing work that our students and staff are doing at Potter School. As you know, our work is grounded in the district strategic plan and our school improvement plan. This evening, we're going to start under teaching and learning, where we have a number of action steps related to literacy. We are going to begin our presentation by showing you CKLA in action in grade 2, along with sharing an incredible honor our students and all of Dartmouth received. So I'd like to turn the microphone over to our literacy coach, Ms. Sullivan.
Good evening. My name's Caitlin Sullivan, and I'm the literacy coach at Potter. I'm excited to share with you all a little bit about Potter School's partnership with the North Dartmouth Library. For the second year in a row, every Potter student has had the opportunity to receive a library card and visit the North Dartmouth Library 1 to 2 times a month. We travel with myself and our school librarian. As you know, it's next door. During these visits, students check out books, explore new titles, receive recommendations from the library staff based on their interest and reading levels. The librarians are always helpful choosing books, and these moments have led to really great conversations around reading, what students like, what they want to read next, and favorite authors. It's a really exciting part of every month at Potter. The North Dartmouth Library has also created a CKLA trade book list so that any library visitor can check out books connected to the CKLA unit that their child is learning about in school. It's a really valuable resource. This helps extend our curriculum beyond the classroom and into the larger Dartmouth community. The library also displays Potter student work, which has been a great way to celebrate our students and connect the classroom learning to the community. Something very exciting that has come from this happened this year. So, Dartmouth, the North Dartmouth Library, is a part of the Sales Library Network, and we competed in the Minute Madness competition as a town. Sales is a regional library network that supports 70 libraries and branches across 38 communities in southeastern Massachusetts. So this competition connected Dartmouth to the much larger reading community. Minute Madness is a challenge where we competed to see what town could log the most reading minutes. The North Dartmouth Library helped kick this off by organizing grade-level reading books for each of our grades, which was a really great opportunity for everybody. For Potter students, this became a true school family library effort. Each week, students brought home a reading log for the following week. With support from their families, they recorded the minutes they read at home and the titles of the books they read. Classroom teachers also logged classroom read-alouds, and we included the books read in the library. As the weeks progressed, Dartmouth kept progressing. It was very exciting, and we tracked who the top bookworms were every week and provided awards and displays for the big announcement. By the end of the competition, Dartmouth had logged 1.1 million reading minutes, and Potter students contributed 376,000 of those minutes, nearly 1/3 of the winning total. So, with this win, Dartmouth became the highest circulating community in the Sales Library Network and the most read town in the state. And I don't know about you, but I think that's very exciting to be part of the most read town in the state. It was an incredible reflection of what can happen when schools, families, students, community partners work together around reading. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan, and we appreciate all of your support throughout our school to make that happen. So now I would like to invite our second grade students up front to tell us a little bit about what they're learning in CKLA. And these are in their words.
In the beginning of the year, we learned about tall tales and fairy tales. They are both fiction, but tall tales are an exaggeration. At the end of that unit, we performed our own exaggeration. At the end of that unit, we performed our own mini plays of some famous fairy tales. I performed in the play The Little Mermaid and acted out the part of the Sea Witch.
We learned about Greek myths. One Greek myth we learned was Theseus and the Minotaur.
When the Minotaur was defeated in the labyrinth.
We also made some projects like clay sculptures and disguise a turkey as a Greek god or goddess.
Another project we made was trading cards of the Greek god and goddesses.
Zeus had the biggest value because he's the most powerful.
We learned about the Civil War, that the North and the South were trying to fight slavery, and we learned that Harry Tubman was one of the conductors of the Underground Railroad. In the 1800s, they used lanterns, so every day we each had a lantern, and we used them whenever we would do any work.
We learned that all insects have 3 main body parts: head, thorax, and abdomen.
We also made some projects like ants and fireflies. For the fireflies, we added glow sticks to replicate the bioluminescence. Does anybody know what bioluminescence is? The type of chemical that animals use to make themselves glow.
We made a couple of these projects for you.
We would like to present some to you.
Excellent job, does this work? There we go. Oh, yeah. Excellent job, second grade. I'm really proud of you guys getting up here. And they did some incredible work. And you're going to see this continue throughout the rest of the slides, just really a lot of project-based learning at the culmination or the beginning of units to really help engage the students in the learning. So what you can see on this first slide is kindergarten. And their first unit was U.S. symbols and presidents. So you can see we have some of our students wearing various headgear. They wore headgear to represent Abraham Lincoln and also George Washington. And then they also did a free draw of George Washington as well, too, as part of one of their units. The first grade, there's examples from 2 units here. So the first unit that they did was Our World and Homes of Animals and Habitats. So what they did is they learned about animals, the habitats they live in, and then each student got to pick an animal and create their habitat in a shoebox diorama. And we were also able to have other grades and classes come and visit and see their presentations, and students were able to explain their animals. They were also did a fairy tale unit. Here's third grade, and they were learning about the universe in one of their units. They did a lot of peer reading together, annotating, and making sure that they were able to have open dialogue and discussion about the reading, answering inferential and questions in terms of putting things in order, time, space. Fourth grade, they opened up with a unit on, it was a narrative about an individual who had polio, and I didn't learn this until they told me. is that the creator of the game, Candyland, invented the game for patients in the polio unit. So they started their unit by learning about polio, about the author, and then they finished their unit by playing the game Candyland. They also did a unit on the Middle Ages. Some students were selected as king or queen of the day, and their teacher would read their name from a scroll, and they wore a crown and got to make some decisions in the class. They were also the line leader. And then they also ended that unit with a hands-on learning activity where they did a station rotation with events or activities from what would be considered the Middle Ages. So things like building a catapult and testing it, and also making some stained glass. And then 5th grade, for their Don Quixote unit, they had the opportunity to create costumes and really act out scenes, but also making or expanding the scenes, making dialogue, and continuing, acting out how they would perceive scenes to have happened.
Thank you, Mr. Grandy. So as you can see, there's lots of literacy instruction happening at Potter. So now we're going to move on to continuing to highlight Potter's work around our strategic plan and our school improvement plan. But now we're going to focus on safe and supportive schools and family and community engagement. So under safe and supportive schools, we had an action step, which is something I've always wanted to do, which was to establish a 5th grade leadership program to empower students with the skills, the knowledge, and confidence to take on leadership roles within the school, while also promoting responsibility, teamwork, and a positive school culture. So within that, we had students at the beginning of the year write essays for why they felt like they could be a leader in the school and what they could offer to the school. And I think we all expected maybe a handful of them. We received over 30 student essays to join the leadership programs. So we decided not to do just one, but we did quite a few leadership parts of the school. So we have some students who work on our recess leadership program. We have other students in school spirit or our welcoming committee. We have some 5th grade leaders working with some of our younger students at Potter. We also have a group of students working under community engagement in our community service programs and services throughout the town. And we have one group here, our leadership program around a composting program that is led by Mrs. Goodman, which also happens to fall under our focus area 3 of family and community engagement because we work with Black Earth composting. So I'm going to have some of our 5th grade leaders come on up and tell you a little bit about that program.
Hi, I'm Abby. Did you know that 8 billion pounds of trash burned in the United States every year, and more than 50% of that trash could be composted instead?
Hi, I'm Kaylin. We learned this while researching about composting. After educating ourselves and getting funding from our PTO, we then had an assembly to educate the rest of the school.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie. We played games at the assembly where we practice on how to clear trays and sort our garbage and scraps. We sign up daily to oversee the students clearing their trays.
We enforce the learning with stickers and a weekly raffle for the grade level who did the best sorting that week.
As of right now, Black Earth Composting Company estimates we have delivered 3,600 pounds from our landfill by composting our cafeteria waste. This food waste stays out of landfills and is made into nutritious compost.
All of this work could not have happened without the wonderful support from our cafeteria and custodian staff, the fabulous Mr. Shad, Mr. Cal, Miss Sylvie, Miss Carrie, Miss Sheila, and Miss Francesca.
If you are interested in composting, email Black Earth Composting for weekly pickup. You would pay around $20 per month. For more details, look on blackearthcomposting.com for more information.
This is how we're helping the planet because we only have one, so we have to take care of it. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
I would just like to thank all of our students. Let's give them another round of applause. You guys did great. and their families for bringing them here tonight. And I also just want to recognize some staff who helped put this evening together. So we have Mrs. Goodman, Ms. Sullivan, Mrs. De Silva, and Ms. Chicka, who also helped create the slideshow. So I'm going to ask the students to stand up. They're ready for this in case you had any questions for them. So where's the microphone?
I don't know if I have questions, but all of it's fantastic. I think you are all very poised and brave to be speaking on TV. I loved that Dartmouth won the most words, and that Potter had such a big percentage of winning that honor. So that is terrific. And personally, I'm thrilled that you're composting. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, incredible. I was just watching you all sitting here, and then each group that came up and presented so much better than I ever could, and some without even notes. I couldn't do that. Very impressive. I love how the school allowed for different topics for the leadership opportunities. And I guess I wonder, maybe I'll ask the students and then maybe a follow-up. Was this the composting your interest, or was that sort of where you landed in terms of deciding which leadership group you were in?
Mrs. Goodman had the idea of the composting, and we all just kind of had that, we all kind of liked that idea, so we kind of just followed in it, and we loved it.
Fabulous. Great job. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. Great job to each and every one of you. I love how you were able to come up here. You spoke extremely well. I'm sure. Was anyone nervous? Don't be shy. It's okay. It's okay to be a little nervous. You are all great speakers. I am curious, though, how does the composting work in the cafeteria? Does anyone want to share that?
We have green bins, and we sign up for each lunch shift, and we help them sort it in compost and trash, and then at the end of the day we bring the bins into a bigger bin, and then they pick it up every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for that. And that's all I have. Thank you so much. Great presentation.
Yeah, great job. Mike, congrats to you and to your classmates for a job well done. I did some fast math with the minutes that you guys read at the Potter School, and I came up with 6,200 hours. That's a lot of hours, and that's a great job, and that's what you needed to do, and I'm very proud of the whole school for what you did, and congratulations to you and to your parents and everyone else who helped you do that. So keep up the good work.
And just quickly, thank you all. I want to thank you all for making us gifts. We will treasure them. So thank you so much. And just one quick question for the composting folks. How would you respond to somebody who says, it's just too hard to compost, so I'm not going to do it?
They don't have to compost, they choose to.
Okay, good. Great.
Yeah,
Well, thank you all. We're so happy to see you all and very grateful that you came out tonight. And thank you to your families for bringing you out tonight and taking time out of their evenings. So, and we wish you well with the rest of your school year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
I love her. She's so cute.
Pretty expressive.
Yeah, I love it. Yep, yep.
That's awesome.
Good to go? Okay, we move on to our consent agenda. Dr. Saba McGuire is recommending approval of a request from the sailing team, the Dartmouth High sailing team, to participate in the Nationals competition in Maryland. Is there anything more you want to say about that?
I do have something about it in my update, so but I can mention now that after finishing in the top 7 at the most recent New England regional competition, 2 of the sailing boats have qualified for nationals, and this is hosted by the Interscholastic Sailing Association. I think that I see Mr. Crisafulli is here if he wants to talk about this, but one of the things that I think is worth noting is that it really is a unique opportunity for students that go to high school here in Dartmouth to participating in a sailing team, and often when I mention this outside of Dartmouth, people are quite surprised and excited that we offer students the opportunity to participate in a sailing team. So it's a unique experience that students here have, and I think that is something that's worth celebrating. And I think, again, this year, having this recognition and the opportunity to compete at the national level is something that is to be celebrated, and we'll be looking to see how they do. If you have any questions about the team in specific or the trip, as I said, Mr. Crisafulli, our athletic director, is here this evening.
Go ahead.
Mr. Crisafulli, quick question. Are they going to have an opportunity to do any quote-unquote sightseeing, like over to the Naval Academy and things of that nature,
Yes, so
which would be nice?
the Naval Academy is right down the street from the yacht club that they'll be competing at. So throughout the last week, 7 to 10 days, it's been a little bit of a challenge of making sure that we put the group together, because it is graduation weekend, and there are some seniors that we have that could have been part of this trip, but have decided to attend graduation, and I can totally understand that. So it wasn't until the end of this past week that we were able to get the 6 names that are going to be going on this trip. So over the course of the last few days, we've been working on hotel arrangements and transportation, and renting a van to bring our team and kids down to Annapolis. So some of those finer details, such as going to the Naval Academy and any type of museum and sightseeing, is something that this week, hopefully if the trip is approved, that will be myself and Bob Conron, who's the head coach, will be combing through some of those details and putting together a nice itinerary for the kids. Absolutely.
Other questions? Discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Oliver, second by Ms. Amaral. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous.
Good luck.
Great,
Best of
thank you.
luck. Good
Appreciate
luck.
it. Thank you for your support.
Safe travels.
We now move on to new business. So we'll begin with a discussion on the Town Budget Advisory Group's suggestion regarding the school district audit or assessment, per Mr. Oliver's suggestion. So why don't you take it away, Mr. Oliver, if you have anything more?
Yeah, no, I don't know how much more I can contribute to the discussion. I appreciate Madam Chair and the committee entertaining me putting this on the agenda for some more discussion around it. You know, I'll go back to, I just think it's important that while every one of us up here on this table, we certainly understand our budget, our needs, as well as the little that we have to work with for the immense amount of programming that takes place in this district. But I do also understand that at some point in the near future, in order to, at the very least, keep what we have without reducing, you know, we're going to have to potentially look to creative ways to fund this school district. And one of those could potentially be some type of override. I know that no one likes that term, but we need to keep in mind that every vote counts for an override, and if there are questions still remaining out there from citizens that may feel that the information is only coming from the school department, even though we've said it comes from the, you know, we report information out to the Department of Education. I know that the town does audits, the financial audits on the school department. DESE does numerous amounts of audits, financial audits, as well as program audits. So, you know, I think we are audited out with the amount of work we do on this, but I think there's something to be said, and, you know, I thought it would be important to bring it to the full committee. In consideration, we do have a joint budget advisory committee meeting tomorrow that myself and Bess and Mr. Kiley will be attending. And, you know, I just think it's worthwhile to, at the very least, have some discussion around this. Yeah, it'll cost a little bit of money, but not only would we be looking for potentially, you know, and no one likes to hear the word, and I've had some discussion with some other elected officials and appointed officials in town, and there is some concern about, you know, the appetite for overrides and in the coming years debt exclusions, because we're going to be asking for debt exclusions for our buildings that we just put in for a consideration for a new middle school on top of any kind of general operational override. So, you know, I think at the very least, if we can do our due diligence and show that, sure, we're happy to bring in a third party, you know, and compare ourselves to have them compare us to other districts. I don't see any harm. Yeah, it'll take a little bit of work on our end, but I don't see any harm in opening up what we have here and what we do to someone else, if that will change some people's minds in the community, because I know there's always those folks that question us, and that's fine. And we ultimately, the five of us, have a fiduciary responsibility to every single taxpayer in this town. While we make our own decisions up here, and, you know, what we think is right, we ultimately, you know, we're elected. Even though this is a volunteer position, we are elected by folks in this town. So, you know, I just think it might be a worthwhile endeavor to show a good faith effort. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna, you know, as they say, fall on the sword for this. But I think it's, you know, it's at the very least, it's worth having a discussion and amongst my colleagues here this evening.
Other thoughts, Ms. Coughlin?
Yeah. So I concur with everything that Chris said. I feel that we have given reports of how we use our monies, how we have tightened our belts already. I guess I'm fine with having an outside party certainly ask questions and put together a report. But before we get much further, I'd want to know exactly what needs to be in the report. And I'd also like to say that whatever is going to be in our report, I think that all the departments in the town maybe should be answering the same questions, because the other departments might be smaller than us, but they face the same obstacles. So having a third party answer or look into the same questions that this committee wants the school to answer, I think would be a good idea, because then we have an even view of all the departments. So even though I think that the information's already out there, if it needs to be put in a different package, and I would hope that the cost for the study would not come out of the school budget, but the general town budget. So I'm fine with it. I'm not gung-ho about it, but I'm fine with it.
Before we discuss further, just questions that I have would be, what would be the next step, and how would we get that information, the specific information that anyone would be, not that, how would we know what whoever is out there is seeking, so that we could?
Oh, well, I think we would bring it up at
tomorrow's meeting.
Okay.
And we would discuss what exactly it is that we don't have at this point that some people still think we need.
Okay.
And I personally, I wouldn't even want to take, if we needed to vote, I wouldn't even want to take any kind of vote tonight.
Okay.
I would just be looking to see what the committees get a feel for everyone on the committee, so when Beth and I go to the joint meeting tomorrow, we can say, listen, we certainly shared what we discussed at the last meeting, and it came up as, like Beth said, we're willing to do this, or we're not willing to do this, but if we're willing to do this, it's based upon what, and it's got to be equitable across all the departments.
Good. Agreed. The other one thing that I would say before I pass it over to Kathleen and John is, I know that the school department does a number of different audits and studies and assessments. Would it be helpful to share what those are, what that information is, how often they're done, what's done? Would that be helpful to the advisory group?
I guess making a list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Is that something that, I don't know if you could come up with it by tomorrow, but is that something?
That's definitely something that we can work on providing for the committee.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ms. Amaral and Mr. Nunes?
Go ahead. I'll bring up the rear. I'll be Debbie Downer.
I think you know. Yeah, no, I think you know how I feel about this. I certainly have all the faith. We are so fortunate in this town, and I've just witnessed for all the years that I've been on the committee how Mr. Kiley walks circles around others and does it in a way that is in plain language and understandable, and makes the state audits and the federal audits and all the tiered monitoring, all the reports that we are up against, putting the dollars to that and aligning it with the people in the room and the needs of the students. Nobody does it better than Mr. Kiley. And to me, requesting an audit feels so disrespectful, in a sense that we are an open book. And I just think back to a couple of years ago, I don't know who asked why we didn't return money. And it's like, well, we don't ask for what we don't need. And so I don't know if other departments ask for, put $300,000 in that account for whatever, and I don't know what it's for, but that's just a good number. No, we are to the penny and all of the state and the federal requirements that we are beholden to abiding by, Mr. Kiley, again, does it with such grace and clarity and consistency, and understands his audience and is patient and thorough. And to spend money on something that we've been saying 5 times, 5 different ways, feels foolish. And one person on the committee, anyone could look at our books and you know, they're not going to find anything. But if we must proceed, I do agree it needs to be equitable. It needs to be all of the departments, because this is a town, this is one Dartmouth, and I think that it's silly because we're the biggest part of the budget. I would argue. I don't know, we probably got the tightest budget and the cleanest budget, and I'm very proud of it. So that's all. I don't know if I said anything different than I said last meeting, but that's where I stand on it. Mr. Nunes.
I'm not in favor of this, okay? I haven't changed my thoughts from the last one. We touched base on it at our last meeting. I'm not sure, what they're going to want. I know what they're going to want for information. You're going to sit here and take our, central office staff and very possibly, our administrators throughout the district and the schools to start recompiling information, probably a different way than we do it right now, so that they can regurgitate figures and come out with exactly the same thing that we have, type of deal. Our administrators, our central office staff, I've said it before, they work 8 days a week and 40 hours a day because of, what they need to do, type of deal. And I'm not looking to put a lot more on them, type of deal. Yes, they're probably going to send us a checklist of information that they're going to want, and then they're going to tick and tack it and say, you know what? You're absolutely right. You are 325th, whatever that number is, in per pupil spending. You were right. No kidding. That type of deal. Number one. Number two, irregardless of what the cost is going to be, I don't want this. Number one, I don't want the school department paying for it. Number two, if the town has to pay for it, that's, with all due respect, a waste of money, because we've got tight financial issues throughout the town. And that, look what we're doing to try and scramble for money for our budget. So whether it's, $10,000 or $30,000, that's money that could be used someplace in a budget for someone, whether it's ours or, the police department, board, DPW, harbor master, whatever the case in point may be. That's where that money can be used for. There has to be some trust, okay? And yes, I trust our central office staff explicitly with what they're doing, with what has to be done, with what has to be filed, and, how the reports have to be generated. With all due respect, I don't need, somebody outside coming in to do a full-blown audit. Our books get looked at as part of the town audit. They've never come to us and said, we got a problem, type of deal. So let it go. And no.
Can I respond? Sure. Mr. Nunes? Let me make myself clear, and I apologize if I didn't, because it sounds as though I'm trying to say that there's a lack of trust with our central office or administrators, and that was not the point, Mr. Nunes.
Nope, I did not. I wasn't thinking of that at all.
Okay, I just want to set the record straight that at no point in time I think we have a phenomenal business manager. This has nothing to do about specific books, finances. This is I'm looking at it through a lens of operational and comparing ourselves to other districts. It's not about the way we run. specifically. It's about comparing ourselves to other like-minded or similar districts. Think of it as similar to the DART group. But yeah, no, please make no mistake that I was not referring to any kind of trust with our staff here. I just think at the end of the day, if this town's going to ask for money for this school department, you know, we got to be as transparent as possible, and every step counts. But I just wanted to set the record straight. Thank you.
I'm good with it now. No, I apologize if it came across that way.
No worries.
Thank you. Dr. Saban
Yes,
McGuire?
thank you. I just wanted to just build off what Chair Beckwith had suggested, and that is compiling really a list of all of the sort of audits and reports and different entities that do come in to the school district that are independent of the Department of Education. When the Department of Education comes in to do a review, they don't come in themselves. They hire an outside group of folks who come in and examine all different facets of the school district, and finance is certainly one of them. So we just want to make it clear, and we just want you to know that when there's an audit done, we're not auditing ourselves. We're being audited by folks who are actually coming in to look for things that we're not doing right. So that is really the purpose. We just today got notification from the Department of Ed related to a recent special ed audit around giving us timelines for things that we need to respond to that they found that the district did need to address. Whenever there is a report or somebody comes in to do whatever kind of report it is, so I just talked about a special ed review that was done just this year. The year that before that I got here, a district review was done through the Department of Ed, who contract out, and that report is available both on our website and on the Department of Ed review. I know Mr. Kiley can talk about the different audits that come related to the state groups that come in and audit our financial records on a regular basis. So I think part of what needs to happen is less about compiling a list of the different ways the district is reviewed, because we're reviewed quite often.
Don't I know?
And I know you know, Mr. Oliver, but it's more about sort of helping the public to understand what those independent audits and reviews actually produce, and why some of what maybe people, there may be just a misunderstanding of what information we already have at our fingertips. I mean, even the yearly annual report that we submit to the town has so much detail in it, not only regarding our budget, but also regarding how our budget supports the work that's going on in our schools. So you can't separate the two. The budget the budget supports the work of our schools, and that's what we think that we're so proud of our strategic plan. And I love what you said, Mrs. Amaral, about Mr. Kiley's ability to articulate those connections so clearly and in plain language, because that is important. And I would agree as far as our finances are concerned, because that seems to be, where we end up focusing. But there's so much more to it than just what that bottom line dollar is. It's about how those dollars support what goes on every day in our schools. And you saw that tonight. You saw how the dollars that you budget as a committee support the children in the Dartmouth Public Schools. You saw it through the 9th grader who sat up here as your student representative. You saw it through the 2 students who just received those academic recognitions. You saw it through the young students who are in our school district right now talking about CKLA and the way that you as a committee had invested those dollars in a way that you can, and we've heard it a few times this year, where we've had our students come here and talk about the work, and that doesn't just happen. There are dollars that are supporting that work.
So I'm just gonna interject. 100% agree with you, Dr. Saban McGuire. I don't, you know, you're talking. You don't have to. I don't think you have to convince this group of us. You certainly don't have to convince me. All I'm saying is that somehow, whether it's through providing documentation, and ultimately it sounds like, you know, we're kind of split right now, which is fine. I just wanted to have the conversation. But it's about educating and getting information out to the approximately 10,000 registered voters in this town that are ultimately going to approve an override for us.
Agreed.
I think that because we see it here every single day, that every single twice a month, the wonderful things that the money does that comes into the school department and what it can do to students. We just saw it, like you said, we just saw it tonight. And for me, that is, I see it every day. I see it in the communications. I see it out in the public. I see that. So this isn't coming from me. In my head, I'm thinking about what can we do to educate the 10,000 registered voters in this town, ultimately, one, for a possible override, and two, eventually debt exclusions for a new school. So I guess if we can package it up, what we already have, great. And that's something that we can have that conversation about. But I certainly appreciate the dialogue this evening, especially in anticipation of our meeting tomorrow. So.
And I just want to follow up, Mr. Oliver. I know that every member of this committee supports the work that we do every single day, and that's not what I'm talking about at all. But I'm talking about what you just said is how do we package it in a way, because you're right, we know, and yes, we have things on our website, but not everybody that isn't intimately involved with the school district on a daily basis is going to know that these are the things that are being done over time. And I, you know, am not personally or professionally opposed to having another group come in and put it all together for us.
Right.
So that could be the end result of all this, that somebody else maybe has the capacity to come in and put this together and present it in a way that is really clear for the public. We were always looking for opportunities. Did you want to add anything, Mr. Kiley?
I do. I guess first, I'd thank you for the kind words and for your support. I appreciate your confidence. I am also not opposed to having someone look at anything we do. What I would say is that we currently have 3 financial audits, independent audits by certified public accountant firms every year. One for the town audit, which encompasses the entire town, including the school department. One for the end of year report, which is the data that we use, that we provide to the Department of Ed, that is represented in per pupil spending and Chapter 70 funding, and that's the source of that data, and it is independently audited every year. We also are audited on our federal funding with what's called the single audit every year. So financial audit's already happening.
Right.
It would make 0 sense to do another financial audit because you're already paying for one. So that's not a goal that needs to be achieved. It's already being achieved. In terms of the study, the scope of the study is very unclear to me. I don't know what answers are necessary to satisfy certain people who are hoping that we do some study. There's been a lot of talk about the police department undertaking a study currently, and that's a very specific study relating to staffing levels and appropriate staffing levels. So that's being referenced as a study when they talk about
potential study. If a study on staffing levels were proposed, sure, we could do it. You know what the statistics are. You probably have it memorized. I present it so often with, in terms of our staffing level, when you look at our staff compared to the state averages in other districts, we know where we are. So we know where our spending is. So, I'd welcome whatever opportunity we need to convince folks that we are where we say we are. Then, sure, let's do it. I don't want to pay for it.
100%.
And I really don't want to do the work, although I know I'm going to have to do the work, including write the RFP, because this is not something that can be done without. So we're going to have to write an RFP with very specific measures, goals, and statements in it as to if we undertake this at all, it needs to be a good, strong, specific RFP. So anyway, I think those are things that I think we need to iron out if we're going to consider it at all.
Kathleen?
Yeah, I guess that's where my frustration is that I keep on thinking about we are an entity, we are a public education, local education agency, and I mean you can drill down on the data dashboard on the state's website to the student, to the demographic, to the population, to the how many people, how many students, graduated, didn't graduate. I mean, there's so much data that's there, and it just feels so wasteful to hire someone to compile that publicly available data and repackage it in a way that's super expensive and is going to tell us exactly what we already know. Not that we're saying it, it's like it's publicly available on the dashboard of the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, like I said, down to the student. Suspensions, all of that data is there, right down to the groups of students, disabilities, English learners. I mean, everything is there. So it just feels so wasteful to suggest, and it just brings me back to feeling as though this is being requested by a certain group of people who just don't really believe in whatever. I don't want to rehash my feelings on that. And that's all I wanted to add.
Okay. So, I think tomorrow's meeting is pretty critical, and so in our next meeting, it will be great to hear more about what folks are seeking. And I think that there is a question about validity of data versus disagreement, and if we can get closer to that, that would probably be good. The second thing I would say is that if the town seeks an override at any point, a big part of that is educating the public about it. And while we don't campaign for an override, we will be called upon to provide information. We will be, and the school department will be. And so I think some of the things that you talked about, Chris, will happen naturally during an override period, before an override vote. So we will be ready to do that, to provide the information to the voters should we need to. So this is probably more preliminary about that. But I think this advisory group is pretty critical as well. So I'm just really want to hear more at our next meeting. And the one other thing I would say is that there seems to be a concern, or I should probably ask, is there a concern about the percentage of the town budget that goes to the schools? And would it be helpful to get, I know we can't compare apples to apples ever, but to get some comparison communities that have similar sized school departments and get a sense of what their percentage is as well. So I don't know if that would be helpful and if that information is readily available.
I think that information is readily available, and it probably would be helpful information to some individuals. Certainly interesting to most people, I would think. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think the two of us, along with Mr. Kiley, I think we have more than enough information to go with tomorrow as to kind of where everyone's minds are on this committee. I certainly appreciate the conversation and the dialogue. You know, at the end of the day, I'm well aware and versed as to what we do here in the Dartmouth Public Schools, and you know, I personally, you know, I don't see the need, but I'm trying to look through the lens of other people that might. But at the end of the day, I think we have good information to go by, and one being the fact that we've been doing really good with our budgets. When you look at Freetown Lakeville, pink slipping 40-something staff, Fairhaven Public Schools, with a Prop 2.5 override, their pink slipping staff. This year for the FY27 fiscal year, and that's let's not even go with the city of New Bedford. But that certainly speaks to what we're doing here. Okay. So I personally think we're good.
Great. Good luck.
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, and good luck with that meeting tomorrow.
Appreciate your effort.
Yeah.
We're trying.
And Bess and Jim.
So the next thing on the agenda, are we ready to move?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All good? Okay. Dr. Say McGuire has proposed dates for our meetings for July 2026 through June 2027. Has everybody had time to approve? To review, sorry, not approve. Is there any discussion or question?
So we're looking at July 20th and August 31st for our 2 summer meetings. Am I correct?
I think so. Sorry, I just put it down. I've got to bring it back up.
I had looked at them all. I'm good with them.
I mean, I'm good.
Okay.
And I'm good.
I'm just trying to verify.
Yeah, July 20th, August 31st. Correct.
Okay.
And can I also bring up that we have a meeting scheduled for June 22nd. Last year, we canceled that meeting, thinking we didn't need it. And we wanted to, I think we talked about a little bit last week and want to wait and see.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's what, Madam Chair, that's what I suggested, is that
Okay.
we wait till the June 8th meeting and see what's going on with how town meeting flows and everything of that nature.
Okay.
Personal opinion.
Everybody okay with that, with the wait and see?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Are we ready to vote or get a motion? Go ahead.
I just want to mention that I would be unable to join at 5 o'clock, July and August.
The 5 o'clock
But I'm
start
one
time
person.
in August?
Yeah, I would not
Okay.
be able to make it before.
How about the July?
Sorry, the July and the August
Okay.
are both
And
proposed to 5.
And I think last summer we did 5:30. Is that possible for you, or is 6 o'clock the
I
best
think I made
time?
it work, but I guess I'm one of 4, so I proceed. I just, it's very unlikely, but I will try my best.
To be at 5:30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
we
better
can-
than 5, but either way,
Okay.
if the committee prefers 5,
No,
I
5:30
won't
is fine.
be there.
And we can stay at 6, I mean.
Can we go back to 6:30? I'm teasing. We used to be a 6:30 here.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were. I'm half joking.
Okay.
I'm one of 5. You'd still meet quorum, so I think if you want to start at 5.
I just asked a question, because I know Mondays are a day where you're traveling.
Yeah, I work till
into-
5, and I'll be
right.
in Boston.
Would
Mhm.
it be helpful if we had it on a different day during those summer dates, or is it every? Because I thought there were days where it might have been easier for you. Mondays, I know, are a travel day for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I meant for 5:30. I know you're working till
I'll do
5.
my best to make it for 5:30.
Yeah.
I will, yep.
Okay, so do we have a motion for the dates and to change to 5:30 on the 2 summer dates?
Second. Well, you want to
Who motioned?
I'll make the motion.
All right.
I think you motioned and made the second.
Yeah.
I don't know. How about that? Huh? Well, listen, that wouldn't be the first time.
Do we have a second?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? More discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Unanimous. Okay, now time for the superintendent's update.
Great, thank you. So we're moving into the final 5 weeks of the school year before our summer break. And again, as you can hear from listening and the emails that you're privy to, that there is so much happening across the schools. But teaching and learning goes on, because no matter what, our most important work is teaching and learning. And that's one of the things that we emphasize. I know our school leaders do. I know our teachers do, is that we have to keep the focus on teaching and learning, because summer doesn't actually start this year until June 23rd. But so some of what's going on here and is that we have the Amplify. Amplify is our CKLA representative in the district for their 3rd and final visit of the year, supporting each of our elementary schools and celebrating what we know has been a truly exceptional first year of implementation of our core knowledge language arts program. You saw that. You've heard it a couple of times this evening. I mean, a couple of times throughout the year. And I really have to take an opportunity to thank Mrs. Paveo for her leadership with this. Really, it's been, when I think about it, it's been a 3-year effort. And the time and the planning and the work that has gone into it has really made a difference in the successful implementation of a resource. And I thank Mrs. Paveo, but I also thank the school-based folks that are out there doing the hard work of the implementation. And you saw a couple of photos this evening that I loved of some of our educators out there. They're dressing up themselves. They're definitely they're embracing the resource. They're like teachers always are. You put a curriculum in their hands and they take it to the next level. It's not about the curriculum. It's about the teacher and the implementation of that curriculum. And I thought that was really clear. You saw those lanterns. One of the students had a lantern. I saw those lanterns out in the school. Again, that's what the teachers, I should say, brought into the classroom. So that's really exciting to watch that happen. Interviewing, I'm going to talk about HR in a bit, but MCAS testing is still underway across the district. So as I said, teaching and learning goes on. There are still assessments happening on a daily basis in all of our schools. The senior capstone presentations are taking place this week at Dartmouth High School. We did have, and I know Mr. Galashaw is back there shaking his head. His head was shaking in a different way earlier today, because we did, in fact, and Mr. Oliver, you'll appreciate this, we had a bit of a technology malfunction on the internet.
I did see the email.
You did see the interview. And I bet you were feeling some empathy for Mr. Galashaw this morning and for all of our schools, because the capstone presentations were scheduled for today. And again, challenges happen, but in our field, we know we have to be flexible, and it's, okay, what are we going to do next? And I would say that people responded appropriately, and there's a plan in place, and the senior capstone presentations will go on. They are something that we're really excited about, and we've started them. I think you remember last year or the year before, And now it's becoming something that Dartmouth High School is truly embracing. And what's exciting about it is, and if you're looking at some of the guidance that's coming out of DESE, the capstone is one of the, I would say, the cornerstones of some of the guidance that's coming out around the CDs, the Certificate of Determination for High School Diplomas. And so we're ahead of the curve there. Looking ahead, on Friday, May 29th, we have 3 teams from Dartmouth Middle School and 2 teams from Dartmouth High School. They'll be participating in the Regional Civics Showcase hosted at your alma mater, Chair Beckwith, University of Massachusetts, Dartmouth. We appreciate the support of the school committee and the select board members who are serving as community advisors. On June 3rd, 1 team from DeMello School and 2 from the Dartmouth Middle School will attend the Invention Convention at Bridgewater State University. Again, that partnership is really strengthening. It's something that we have seen a lot of excitement around, and for the past 2 years, Dartmouth teams have won the convention, and so we're a lot of competitive, and we look forward to seeing how our participants do this year. Under Safe and Supportive Schools, Ms. Redlawn and Mr. Kiley, along with building principals, have been meeting with fire chiefs of Districts 1 and 3 to review and strengthen evacuation procedures across all of our schools. Again, part of a greater district strategic plan related to updating our safety and security protocols. Under Family and Community Engagement, there's no shortage of celebrations happening across Dartmouth. We do, we're approaching the close of the school year, but at the same time, there's this sense of excitement that happens in schools around this time of year. Our elementary schools, they just continue to shine, and I can see that there are some really well-loved celebrations and traditions in our schools. And we have step-up days, we have grade 8 graduation, we have milestone events. You heard our freshman student representative talk about the junior, it's not prom here, but thank you, junior banquet. We have the senior prom coming up at Ocean Cliff in Newport. So they do proms right here in Dartmouth, I have to tell you. By the time we next meet for our next school committee meeting, our seniors from Dartmouth High School will have graduated. And so we're looking forward to an exciting and meaningful time to celebrate milestones for our students, our staff, and our families. I would also mention, and you heard our student representative refer to the Special Olympics that were held here this past Friday, and it was, by all accounts, an outstanding success. In fact, I was getting text messages from my superintendent thread just thanking Dartmouth folks for the welcome that they received, and just what an amazing experience it was for all of our students, not only here in Dartmouth, but all of our surrounding communities as well. It really does point to, when we talk about family and community engagement, a time to celebrate unity, inclusion, and school pride. The Dartmouth Public Schools communication team, again, back to family and community engagement, has launched a district-wide survey intended to gather feedback on our school and district communication practices. And this survey is available on Parent Square. It'll be open until May 29th. And we want to encourage our families to participate because that feedback does directly inform our plan for and you remember this was part of our district strategic plan, that we wanted to be really thoughtful and intentional about the way we communicate with our families and our community. So we already talked about the sailing competition. We're excited about that. Under budget and capital improvement, Mr. Kiley, if you want to jump in, it's up to you, but town meeting is scheduled for June 2nd at 9 a.m. A couple of important articles. Article 10 supports funding for school capital improvements, and Article 12 supports operational funding for the district. Do you want to add anything to that?
We appreciate that the town boards are recommending approval of those articles, and we're hopeful that we'll get through town meeting and start some projects and start off our new fiscal year in the right way.
And I know you all have access to emails that go out from the district regarding HR, and recently posted positions include district elementary literacy coach. We have a guidance counseling opening at Dartmouth High School. We have an adjustment counselor position. We have the speech and language pathologist. We have some district level positions that the committee approved in this budget, and then seasonal facility grounds crew, summer school, high school teachers, the DeMello full year secretary. I would just say in many, if not most of these cases, these positions, such as the middle school principal, are due to retirements and folks who have been offered other opportunities, and in many of those cases, they're either out of state or just sort of moving into a different field. But we feel very confident that people are interested and excited about coming here to Dartmouth, and we've had a really, I would say, impressive number of applicants for the positions that are open in our district. And so I would also just mention to you that I wanted to keep you up to date on where we are with kindergarten enrollment. So at this point, DeMello has 43 total registrations, and that puts them at about 14.3 students in a class. Potter has 52 total, so they're right around 17. And the Quinn is at 65 students, and that puts them right around 16 students per class. So we are closely monitoring kindergarten enrollment, as we said we would, and we'll continue to give you updates as we get closer to really the start of the school year. But one thing that I have seen here in Dartmouth over the past few years that I've been here is that once we get to this point of the year, it's not that we won't have additional registrations, that most of them are just about completed. So we'll continue to give you updates as we go through the summer as well. And that is my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions? For report of the chair, I just have two quick announcements. There's a mask briefing on funding and state graduation standards on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. That's online. And Division 10 is sponsoring a webinar on the school committee role in the Mass Leads Act. And that's Friday, May 29th, noon to 1. It's one of those lunch and learn webinars. So that's all I have. Does anybody else have any announcements or anything you want to discuss?
You've got scheduled date for August workshop. It's on the agenda.
Oh, I missed that. All right.
What is it?
Okay.
Just asking.
Thank you. It's important to have a vice chair. So we want to talk about the retreat date for August. Is that what that means?
Yep.
Okay.
So we usually do that at 5 in the afternoon. Is that right? So what works best for the problem child?
Now.
Can we do a 5:30?
Was it when?
Well, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a Monday.
Yeah,
right.
I could.
No.
It can be anytime, right?
Yeah, any other day. I still can be there at 5, but I would make 5:05. I just live down the
And
road.
if you just maybe decide on a couple of dates so that we can reach out to MASC and make sure that your representative is available.
I mean, the week of August 10th is not does not work for me. Okay.
That's a good week to have it then.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, as I've said before, I'm one person. Yeah, I know.
Do we want to look at the week of August 17th or the week of August 24th?
Either or works.
Either,
Yeah,
either
either.
one.
Either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bess?
Monday,
You're-
Tuesday.
You have furrowed brow.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure that I could do the 19th at 5:30. But
Okay.
otherwise, those 2 weeks you mentioned are fine.
Do we want a Wednesday? Is that,
Oh,
no?
I-
Doesn't matter?
Do you
Doesn't
want?
matter.
Just not a Monday, is my
Yeah,
understanding.
you want Tuesday the 18th? Does
Yeah.
Tuesday the 18th work?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Tuesday the 18th works.
Yeah.
And do we want an alternate date in case our folks aren't available?
Sure, yeah. I mean,
We want to say the 25th?
Happy birthday. Yeah.
yep.
25th?
Sure.
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 All right, 18th or 25th. We good?
Yeah.
Do we have to?
No.
Okay,
5:30.
5:30.
5:30. Any other announcements? Okay, our next meeting, our next regular meeting of school committee is scheduled for Monday, June 8th at 6 p.m. right here.
Madam Chair, make a motion, we adjourn to executive session
Great.
pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Sections 21A, 7, and 22G. Review executive session minutes and not return to open session.
We have a motion.
Second.
Second. So we have a motion by Mr. Noon, second by Mr. Oliver. And can we have a roll call, please, Ms. Genthner?
Bess Coughlin?
Yes.
Kathleen Amaral?
Yes.
Chris Oliver?
Yes.
John Nunes?
Yep.
Mary Beckwith?
Yes. This meeting is adjourned.